Hey, Shed here with Speed Addicts, the fastest growing gear site on the web, and today we're going to uncrate the EBC SRK series clutch kit. What's up, Speed Addicts fan? Before we jump into the high performance clutch rebuild kit before me from EBC, do us a favor. Do you a favor. Subscribe to the Speed Addicts channel. It takes a click, then you're going to be up to date, educated, not missing out on any of the latest gear or parts coming into the power sports industry, and I'm sure that's exactly how you like it. Now, if you'd like to support us here, and we really do appreciate that support, you could do so by simply shopping with us. There's a link in the description that'll take you right over to speedaddicts.com and our full selection of EBC clutch components, including a full rebuild kit like the one we're going to talk about today, as well as EBC brakes, rotors, pads, you name it from EBC. We've had it going on 20 years here at speedaddicts.com. Okay, thanks for shopping with us. EBC, who are they? If you're not familiar, this is a British company. See how they sneak the flag right in there? Jolly old England. They are a high-quality producer of both brakes, clutches, jets, and a few other odds and ends, but mostly known for brakes, and number two, probably clutches. So we've sold EBC for a long time here. I personally used EBC for many decades in my own machines because it's good stuff. Simply put, they have a factory in the UK, a factory in Ohio, and that's it. So expect good things to happen when you purchase aftermarket EBC parts. Can you spend less? Oh yeah. You can go on eBay and get that cheap stuff and then end up buying it twice when that clutch burns out prematurely. I recommend clutches and brakes, probably good things not to skimp on, because when they go wrong, they go very wrong. Get a cheap set of tires, I guess. I don't know. That's probably a bad idea too. Get cheap gloves. When your cheap gloves wear out, what happens, Producer Matt? Nothing terrible. But when a clutch goes bad, it's a bummer. Okay, I've made my case. When it comes to street clutches, you basically have two primary options from EBC. Perhaps there's an inexpensive cork clutch. So clutches, in case you're not aware, consist, for motorcycles, friction plates, steel plates, and then a spring, either a diaphragm spring or a traditional spring like you see before me. Diaphragm spring kind of looks like a bent steel plate. So those are the three pieces. Now, what changes is the material of the friction discs. Aramid fiber, fancy racing clutch. Less expensive, recreational grade cork friction plates. Okay, so if you're on a budget, you get this stuff. This is kind of like OEM quality depending on the bike. Maybe your bike came with a aramid fiber or high-end carbon clutch, but a lot of times it comes with the cork clutch. Now, the cork clutch works fine in most situations, but it's not up to the task when the temperatures get up there. So if higher horsepower, heavier machine, great opportunities, or race use, great opportunities to upgrade to the aramid fiber. There's another word that starts with a K that they used to call these that's been trademarked by a company that starts with the letter D. I'm not going to say it. They're aggressive. We're not going to say that, but you know what I'm talking about. They make vests that stop projectiles. That's what we're talking about here. So the aramid fibers hold up to the temps, the abuse of racing high horsepower heavyweight machines. They also have a little bit more bite, so the uptake when you release the clutch tends to be a little bit more punchy and immediate. Not something that is going to be off-putting necessarily, but just a little bit different feel than a more progressive, gentle cork clutch. The cork clutches are $50 to $100 for just the plates, the friction plates, and then that assumes you're going to use your same steels and springs. Ideally, if you've got the cash laying around, you should replace all of it because the springs tend to wear out over time, not applying the correct pressure, which is going to lead to premature slippage and premature burnage of thy clutch. So if you go with new springs and new plates, then you know you're in a great shape. But if you don't want to spend quite as much money, or you know that your plates are in decent shape, then you can just get the SRC kit, which only has the friction plates and the springs. The springs can always be purchased on the side, and I recommend you do so, even if you're going with the cheap, less expensive, let's say that's gentler, cork clutch. Get the springs. They're only a few bucks alongside because that pressure is more important. The steel plates wear out less frequently, and it'll save you some money. So, in short, SRK series clutch rebuild kits from EBC are my pick for the street, and you don't have to be a racer to make this choice, just someone who enjoys a high performance setup. So the SRK series is going to include those aramid fiber friction discs, the steels that are dimpled for extra oil ability for the steels to pick up the oil and circulate it between the friction discs and cool them. You want your clutch cool, that way it doesn't smoke and cause problems. Okay, and then you're gonna get the springs, either the traditional or the diaphragm. So that's what's included in these. These kits run anywhere from 150 to right over 200 bucks, and it's the good stuff. Let's talk about what you're gonna do if you're gonna take on this project. It's recommended by us and EBC that an experienced technician does this for you. But if you're gonna do it yourself, follow all the instructions. Make sure you have the correct tools, the specs for all the fasteners that you're going to remove, gaskets where necessary. And the main thing with a clutch job is that you wanna soak these bad boys for several hours. You want that material, the aramid fiber friction material, to really soak up that oil and be fully impregnated, ooh, dirty word, with that oil, so that when you fire up that bike and take off, you don't smoke your clutch. Okay, you get the drift. Take it easy the first several miles as well. Let things kind of marinate and get going after you do a job like this. If you have questions about what clutch is right for you, what part number you need for your machine, and you're having difficulty, or you just want to double check, make sure you get it right the first time when you're shopping at Speed Addicts, use our rider support team. They're available over the phone, email, live chat to help you make good buying decisions and get it right the first time. Don't be that guy that gets halfway into a clutch job and it's all soaked in oil, and then throw your hands in the air and call us and want to send it all back. No. If you don't know what you're doing with clutches, just pay a mechanic to do it right the first time, and it'll be nice. And if you buy it from Speed Addicts, you're probably going to get a good deal on the parts. You can take them over there. They'll take care of you. Okay, that's it. You still got questions? Like I said, talk to the rider support team. Otherwise, we'll see you next time to find out what's in the crate.